My name is Mohamad bin Haja Maidin with the student ID 19001315. I'm taking electrical and electronic engineering.
My name is Naqibah Zahra. My ID number is 201399 and I'm taking computer science.
Hi, my name is Nur Istiqarah Naziri. My ID number is 20001486 and currently taking computer science.
Hi, my name is Amar Amirul Arman. My student ID is 19001189 and my program is electrical engineering.
Hi, my name is Aniq Zawawi. Student ID 19001198 from course Electric and Electronics.
My name is Mohamad Fikri Mohamad, ID 190.7. I'm taking course electrical engineering.
Hello, my name is Maidin. Student ID 19001211 from course Electrical and Electronics Engineering.
Maintaining our safety in water is always a crucial part, and it is the responsibility of each individual to at least have the knowledge about the do's and don'ts with regards to water safety. There are few do's and don'ts which will be explained in detail with the purpose of making public aware of them so that any unwanted circumstances or situation can be avoided. As for the do's in water safety, first one, stay hydrated. Keep a water bottle filled and close by when doing any sort of physical activity like swimming. Staying hydrated will help in reducing heat-related emergencies such as heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. This will help to keep the body regulated with temperature and keep the body cool down during those hot summer days. 2. Learn CPR. If a drowning incident or pool-related accident occurs, bystanders are typically the first available to react and respond. However, it is always good if there is someone in a group that has the knowledge to perform CPR. Knowing how to perform CPR can be the difference between life and death. 3. Always wear a life jacket. Inexperienced swimmers should always wear a Coast Guard certified life jacket around water. Also remember, a life jacket or other flotation device should never be an excuse to ignore other water safety guidelines. Life jackets alone are not enough when it comes to staying safe around water, but it can be something that will reduce the risk in the water. Moving on to the don'ts related to water safety. First one, never swim alone. Swimming should only happen when a lifeguard is on duty. Lifeguards don't just watch the people in the pool, lake or ocean. Their job is also to watch the water and advise swimmers on any safety concerns and questionable conditions that may arise. They are also trained to respond quickly when something happens. Next, don't drink alcohol before swimming. Alcohol is strictly restricted if you wish to swim or boat. The consumption of alcohol will lower down your body response, which will then result to a higher tendency of getting drowned. Last but not least, don't dive headfirst into a water source. Head and neck injuries can happen at a moment's notice and an emergency can ensue. Check the pool deck to see if diving is allowed or ask a staff member before attempting to dive. Even if there is a small kid, let them to enter with their feet first.
Tips to cross a moving water. It's always best to find a bridge you need to cross the river, but if you absolutely must make it to the other side on your own, a few easy steps can keep you high and relatively dry. 1. Scout around. Invest a little time in finding the best place to make your crossing. Avoid bends in the river where water whips around the fastest. Once you find a suitable spot, walk downstream a few hundred feet to make sure there are not any hazards. 2. Don't be narrow-minded. Narrow crossing can be the most dangerous as they are often the deepest part of the river. Cross at the widest point since the water is usually shallower than where the river narrows down. The safest place to cross tend to be straight section between river banks, wider area of the channel or banks. 3. Don't cross deep rivers. Don't cross rivers that are more than deep. If the water is deeper than your waist deep, you have a better chance of losing your balance and getting washed downstream. The more body mass you have in the water, the greater are your chances that you will capsize. 4. Shuffle up. Face upstream, lean into the current and move across the river with shuffling side steps. You are less likely to fall while side stepping since you don't lift your feet as high. If you are with a group, link arms. The technique creates more contact point with the scramble and give everyone a more solid footing. If the rapids are too fast and you are not confident enough to cross it, turn around, go downstream and find a better ford or wait for the water level to go down. The attire that need to be worn. Always wear a personal flotation device (PFD), especially if the river is more than knee deep. Wearing a life jacket is the biggest way you can decrease your drowning risk. It will give you more buoyancy to stay afloat. Always ford a river with your boots on your feet, since they have traction and protect your foot from underwater hazard. Never cross barefoot unless the water is very shallow. You can cut or damage your foot on the broken glass, bits of metal, stuck fishing tackle, rocks, submerged logs, and branches. Sandals should only be worn if you are wading in shallow water because they do not protect your toes and can become separated from your feet in a strong tide. Correcting proper fall. If you slip and fall while crossing, try to stay calm. Flip onto your back in a floating position, pulling your knees into your chest. This will trap air in your pants or waders. Point your feet in the opposite direction you want to travel. Your feet will act as a rudder and catch the current. Use your hand to maneuver yourself. This is an improper technique. Wearing a PFD is a must, and you should try not to be too panicked or it will much worsen, as you will hardly get oxygen. Tips to cross moving water with a vehicle. Flash floods are possible at any time, and some areas are particularly prone to them. If you cannot tell how deep the flood is, and if the water is moving fast, stay out of it. If you're sure that the water is not too deep, then approach it slowly, keeping the reefs high so that the water finds it more difficult to get into the exhaust. Before attempting a crossing, wind down the electric windows and unlock all the centrally locking doors so that if you do get stuck and the vehicle's electronics fail, you can still get out of the vehicle. Maintain a consistent speed and don't speed through a flood, as it causes a bow wave which can swamp other vehicles, pedestrians or properties. Roads are higher in the middle, so negotiate a flooded road by driving in the middle of the road. If your car does start to float, open the door slightly to let water in. This will add weight to the car and will stop it floating. After driving through, dry your brakes by applying them and driving forward slowly.
Going into nature and being surrounded by the wisdom of the trees, the beauty of the grasses, the inspiration of the mountains, and the warmth of the sun, you can feel the subtle peace enter your body, mind, and spirit. As we go to the sea, especially in the morning or during the sunset, you will see the sunlight reflecting from the water. Even you are not touching it, you will feel amazed with the view of the sea and the sun. Nothing can beat the beauty of the sunset. But have you ever played with your own shadow? You might take more than 3 minutes just to look at your own shadow, as this effect is a great phenomenon of nature. Most of us would love to get fresh air at night, and we will look up to the sky with the stars twinkling. But did you know that every human will see the stars differently, and they will make intriguing patterns just by themselves? Have you ever looked at leaves fall slowly from a tree, especially during hiking in the jungle? That is one of the nature that calms every mind and soul. With the wind blowing at the same time, you might take few minutes just to stop and enjoy the moment. Have you ever felt stressed? Have you ever felt annoyed? This is one of the best nature you need to have. Inhale more when you are out in nature. Take a deep breath and breathe out. Practice this way for 3 to 5 minutes, then you will feel more and more relaxed. When we are at waterfall, we tend to see the rainbow. Did you know the rainbow serves as a symbol of peace and serenity? Rainbow colors are often associated with making us feel happy, and that is how the rainbow demonstrates how beautiful diversity can be. What is more interesting about nature? The mountains. With lots of trees on it, and you are looking at the mountains from afar, you will feel incredibly small in this world. You may sit back and watch the beauty of the nature.
Public education strategy on water safety. First, education materials. Health education resources such as booklets, brochures, and leaflets were frequently utilized as a tool for public or individual education. Printed materials were proven to be effective in influencing knowledge, attitudes, and behavior. To encourage preventative behaviors, these printed materials should contain suitable health-related instructional content. The technique for increasing the reader engagement in this document is to limit the information from being extremely extensive, since this may appear overpowering and discourage the receiver from reading them. The second strategy is through school community. Swimming lessons can be offered as a co-curricular activity for school students since it will educate them about water safety, how to judge risky situations, and how to respond in an emergency. Professional swimming instructors can be hired by schools to offer classes in their own school pool or swimming pool in the vicinity to ensure the safety of students during swimming lessons. To ensure consistent messages reach our diverse school communities, we also must ensure that the program sessions are culturally sensitive and language appropriate to strengthen their comprehension of roads water safety programs. The third strategy is to create a subgroup for media and communication. We can gather communication expertise from membership organizations together to provide a consistent multilingual media messaging across Malaysia to raise this water safety awareness. The use of evidence, data, and subject matter knowledge will ensure the campaigns and messages are directed at identified water safety risks. When it comes to multilingualism, we must create, execute, and evaluate customized programs that are co-designed and delivered by multicultural community members. Plus, to assist organization in campaign delivery, we can develop an annual calendar to encourage organization to support campaigns and achieve awareness goals.
How can the river be used to boost the economy? The first one is by agriculture. In the rural areas, the presence of a river can have a great impact on the development of the agriculture, since the water coming from the river can be used to improve the quality of the fruits and vegetables. Second, the river recreation. Outdoor recreation participants spend $86 billion annually on water sports, such as kayaking, stand-up paddling, rafting, canoeing, and motorized boating. The second highest revenue stream, with camping in the lead at $142 billion. Water sports directly support more than 800,000 jobs annually. Third, transportation. The river is one of the oldest and cheapest modes of transportation. There are usually no huge investments required to construct or maintain the tracks used. Streams played an essential role in transportation before land transport became available. Water, in general, can be cost-effective, especially when moving bulk commodities. The cost of river transport contributes to the tax revenue. There are also licensed ferries and commercial carriers that increase the profit margins of the rivers as a mode of transportation. Fourth, energy. Rivers are essential to generate hydropower. In some countries, hydropower is one of the largest energy sources. Depending on the density of the country, hydropower revenue is dependent on the percentage of population that has access to electricity. Water is also necessary for other energy-based production such as raw materials extraction, cooling in thermal processes, cultivation of crops for biofuels, and more. Last but not least, tourism. Rivers are essential for the contribution of the tourism sector, being destinations for locals and international tourists for activities such as fishing, wildlife viewing, boating, and etc. These can increase tax revenue and additional employment in the tourism industry.